Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller Prospecting, and today we're going to be talking about the other precious metal, silver, and more specifically, all the fake silver bars flooding the eBay market. As some of you know, I recently got my son into silver stacking so he would have something to spend his allowance on besides video games, and that might be worth something later on in life. And of course, so we started doing some searching on Google to find bars he liked, things that he would want to start collecting. And of course, then we started getting hit by advertisements. And one of those advertisements was from a Chinese website that was offering silver bars for $1.88. So I went to go look at it just to see how bad of a fake it was. And in fact, I will show you the ad right here. So let's flash that up. Now, this is the exact ad I saw. And as you can see, it clearly states it's an American Prospector commemorative coin, 1 ounce American Explorer metal, silver plated coin, collectible coin. But it clearly does say silver plated. In fact, the newer listing, I just looked at the newer listing, actually even says toy in the title. Now, after seeing that, I got a little bit curious and I decided to look at the feedback to see if anyone was being foolish enough to think that these were real. And unfortunately, as you see below, there were some people who actually thought these were real silver bars, which then made me think that maybe some of these silver bars were going to start flooding the eBay market, not only by just scammers who were going to buy them and sell them on eBay, trying to trick people into thinking they were real, but legitimate people like these below who just didn't read the title, thought it was a really good cheap price for silver, bought some, and unfortunately later on these are going to be hitting the eBay market. And as you can see in these feedback, excellent buy for 1 ounce of silver. These are not silver. It clearly states that these are silver plated. Can this really be real? If it is, it's definitely a great value. Very shiny. It's in an easy to open case. But the title clearly states that this is silver plated, but here is someone who is going to think that it might be real. I hope these are completely 100% 999 silver. They are very pretty and in a plastic case. Even if they would send a certificate saying they're real, but for the price, it's just great. It tells you they're silver plated. Yet again, these are beautiful and they will make an inheritance for my children. And these are the worst types of feedback to see because that means these are going to be sitting in some kid's collection for the next 10 to 20 years. And then they're going to pull them out, sell them on eBay. And by then, these fakes won't be on the Chinese websites anymore. And more than likely, they'll fool somebody else. And then they'll be ripped off. So then I decided to go on eBay after seeing this feedback and things like that. I decided, well, let me go check out eBay and see how many of these fakes are actually being listed. And a good resource, in case you don't know, is a website called fakebullion.com. And I will put a pinned comment below, or it will be in the description. I will put a link to their website, fakebullion.com. It's a great resource for finding fake silver and comparing it to real silver. But like I said, I went to eBay and I checked through all their listings and they had over 100 Silvertown silver bars up in their listings. But I even checked that down and I pulled out all the ones that were this exact specific bar. And there was 52 listings. Some of them were multiple listings, but there were 52 sellers selling this exact silver bar design. I looked at everyone closely, and out of those 52, 12 made me suspicious. 6 I wasn't really sure of. They might have just been a different die change, but they could have been real. But 6 of them were definitely fakes. I could tell that they were 100% fake. I knew they were fake. They had a glaring error, which I will show you later on, that only the fake bars have. Now, I contacted all 6 of those sellers, and of course, 5 of them immediately closed their auctions. When I messaged them, I told them these look like fakes. They look like the ones on these Chinese website. And I gave them a link to fakebullion.com. And I told them these look like fakes. And as I said, 5 of them immediately closed their auctions, which tells me that all 5 of those people knew that they were fakes and they were trying to rip people off. And once I called them out, they decided it was easier to just close and go away for a while. But the 6th person told me he would look into it, which made me believe that he didn't know it was a fake and he wanted to look into it. An hour or so later, he messaged me back again and told me, yes, he really thought it was a fake. He looked at the information I sent him, and based on how he purchased it, he couldn't prove that it was actually silver. Unfortunately, it was a fake bar. So I made a deal with him. I bought that fake bar. And I also bought one from the Chinese shop. So we're going to compare those two to two real bars. One bar I got direct from AppMex, and another one I got from a very popular seller off of eBay. And we're going to compare all four of these bars, and we're going to show you a couple little bit of ways that you can tell the fake bars from the real ones. But before we do that, I want to show you something else. I just decided to go scrolling on eBay to see what has sold. And unfortunately, a lot of the silver bars on eBay, especially with this prospector bar, are fakes. So we're going to flash up some eBay pages right now, and I'm going to show you not only that they're ones that are selling that are fake, but how to easily spot some of these fakes. Now, I did a very simple search on eBay, Silvertown Prospector Bar, and I put it as the price plus shipping lowest because typically scammers will put their products a little bit lower than a genuine one to try to get them to sell quickly. And here's what sold. This $10 bar, it's actually $10 plus $5 shipping, but it does say commemorative collector bar. And in his description, he does tell you it's silver plated. I still think it's a ripoff charging somebody $15 for something you got for $2 for free shipping. Then we have this one here, $15. And I'll even show you this one a little bit closer. Here is the actual selling point. It was $15 with $5 shipping, and he sold 4 of them. Here are the actual items that sold. He sold them to 2 different people, $15 each, and they both bought 2. And one of them sadly even left him feedback, Silvertown Prospector Commercial Bar. And as you can see in the guy's description, he clearly states that these are silver. 999 fine silver sealed in case. But these are not. These are not commercial. These are not silver. These are silver plated. And there are even more of these that have sold. 1950, these are fakes. $25, this one is fake. This one was a real one. It's a different design, $29.99. This one, again, is fake. The majority of these that are selling are fake, under $30. Now we're going to go over to another one. I think it's this one. And we're going to show you, this is a real one. This is one that's sold. And then we're going to look at this one. And this is one of the ones that's a fake. Now the easiest way to spot these and tell if they're fake is by the pickaxe. As you can see on this one, there is nothing. It's just a blank pickaxe with no real definition. Now, while on a real one, you can barely see it, but there is definition. There is a difference between the axe handle and the pickaxe itself. And that's one of the quickest ways to spot these fakes. And that's how I went about it. These are the easiest ways to spot. They just do very simple dies. There's a whole bunch of other ways to tell. And again, if you go to fakebullion.com, you can see them. But on these, from the Chinese website, they just don't have any definition on the hammer. As you saw, while eBay is being flooded with fake silver, it's generally pretty easy to tell the fakes from the real, especially if, as I said, you go to fakebullion.com. But there's also a few tests you can do, and we're going to go to my overhead and we're going to do some tests on the silver I bought to see if they're fake or real. All right. Move to the overhead, and we're going to do a few measurements to see if we can tell the difference between the real bars versus the fake bars. So first off, we're going to do a weight test. We're going to weigh each one of these bars up, and then we're going to measure each of the bars to see if there's any variation in the weights. And then lastly, we're going to do a density test, and that one should be the most conclusive out of all of them. But let's just get to the measurements and start writing them down. As you saw, all the weights were really close. 31.30, 31.23, 31.065, and 31.605. And an ounce of silver is 31.1 grams. So they were all within that measurement. And 3 out of the 4 were over the 31.1 grams. Only the one I ordered directly from Temu was a little bit shy. And now we're going to measure them to see what their dimensions are and see if there's any variations in that. Okay, finished up the dimensions test, and all the lengths and widths were pretty close to each other, and it was only the thickness that really was a big variance. With the two real bars, they were both about 2 millimeters. One was 2 millimeters, one was 2.1 millimeters. But with both of the fake ones, they were much thicker at 2.7 and 2.8. Well, now we're going to do one of the easiest tests, and that is a magnet test. Now, not all fakes are magnetic. Typically, they do use magnetic materials in the cheaper ones, the ones that you're going to find for $1.88 and such. But the more expensive fakes, the ones that are going to cost you $5 or $6 to produce, they actually won't be magnetic. And in the reviews for the Chinese website, someone did say that they weren't magnetic, and they actually posted a video showing it wasn't magnetic. But I'm going to be using neodymium magnets, so these are very powerful magnets, and we're going to check them out. So with the real bars, nothing, nothing, fake bar, yep, magnetic, fake bar, magnetic. So that pretty much conclusively proves that these two bars are fake. But we're going to do one more test. Just in case these weren't magnetic, we're going to do a density test. So I've got to change the camera to a different angle, and then we're going to do a density test on all four of these. For this measurement, we're going to find out how much water these fake bars displace to find out what their true density is, because silver has a density of 10.49. So once I put the silver bar in the water, I can tell how much water has been displaced and then divide that by how much the bar weighs, and we'll find out what its density is. And its density again should be 10.49. Now let's zoom in the camera, drop these in the water, and see how much water they displace. Both bars ended up displacing 4 milliliters of water, and if you take their weight and you divide it by 4, you get 7.766 and 7.9. So not even close to the 10.49 density of real silver. All right, those were some very basic tests or measurements to see if the silver was real or if it was fake. And I highly suggest the magnet test or the density test if you want to check your own silver, because silver will never be magnetic and it will always have a density of 10.49. I also know some people are going to ask in the comments why I didn't use an acid test, because that is a standard for testing gold or silver, and that is because the fake bars are actually silver plated, so they will show up as silver if you just do a scratch and acid test, and you can't really tell that way if they're fake, which is why I did the magnetic, density, and weight tests. There are also some more scientific tests you can do, but unfortunately, I'm just not smart enough or equipped enough to do those tests. So I'm going to be sending the 4 bars I have, the 2 fake ones, and the 2 real ones over to Vendetta Prospecting, and Mike is going to do his own experiments on them, and hopefully we can see if there's even any measurable amount of silver on the plated fake ones. But you'll have to watch his video to find out, and that should be premiering right after this one. Now, I still wanted to add some silver to my son's silver stacking collection, so I had Mike over at Vendetta Prospecting send me his newest product, and that's his silver edition of his Pirate's Booty. And this only has silver, and it doesn't have any gold. It's got a guaranteed 15 grams of crystalline silver. So this Tuesday, I'm going to be panning it out or picking it out, pulling all the silver out so I can add it to my son's collection. But that's going to be it. Thanks for watching, happy panning, and if you're not already a subscriber, think about hitting that subscribe button below. And then go check out Mike's video to see what happens to the silver I sent him.